In a hive far away from our world lived a queen bee. Every day she would buzz around her hive, laying eggs, making sure everything ran smoothly. One day the queen bee announced a new rule. This hive works best when we all work together. You may not want to help each other, but your sisters here, they need your help. And if you don't help them, then who will? Soon, it became a common sight to see a group of bees working together to move large amounts of plant pollen or building the hive, or even guarding the hive while the others went out to look for nectar and plants, buzzing around happily. The queen bee knew that her announcement would take some getting used to, but she also knew that her bees were a hard-working bunch. Working together like this, it's not so bad. In fact, it's kind of fun. The young bee smiled and replied, "Yeah, me too." Together, these bees could do anything. After all, they were a team. I used to hate helping the other bees, but now I actually kind of like it. And the best part is, we get to spend more time with our friends and sisters. And with a little time, they would learn to love helping each other. And working together means we can accomplish more than we could ever do alone. Just then, a group of bees flew past them, heading back to the hive. "Hey, wait up," called the young bee. He turned to the wise old bee and said, "Come on, let's go help them." The wise old bee smiled, and together they flew off to join the others. "From now on," she said, "every single one of you bees must help each other." The hive was in an uproar. "What? Why?" shouted one of the bees. One day, a young bee landed on the branch with a heavy load of plant pollen. He struggled to move it into the hive. Tried and he tried, but the plant pollen was just too heavy. Suddenly, 2 more bees landed beside him. "Need some help?" they asked. "Oh, yeah, I could use some help," replied the young bee. Together, the 3 bees made it back to the hive. When the bees returned to the hive after a long day of searching for nectar, they would dump their plant pollen on the ground and head off to find some honey to eat. But now, thanks to the queen bee's new rule, they had to help each other carry their plant pollen back to the hive. The bees grumbled and buzzed, but slowly began to work together. It took a lot longer for them to get their plant pollen back to the hive, but at least they weren't doing it alone. "I don't want to help anyone, I just want to make honey," another bee piped up. "Yeah, why should we help each other? It's not fair." All the bees started grumbling and buzzing angrily. They had never helped each other before. And now this new rule meant that their way of life would change forever. The queen bee raised her hand for silence, and when she finally spoke, her voice was very calm. Now at first, things didn't go very smoothly. A few days went by and the bees started to really work together. As the days went by, the bees got better and better at working together. They even started to enjoy it. One day, a wise old bee landed next to a young bee who was collecting pollen. "You know," said the wise old bee. The wise old bee nodded his head in agreement. "That's right," he said. Working together wasn't so bad, and it certainly wasn't boring. The end.